Hello, everybody. My name is CH, and I will be your host today. Welcome to another episode of the Chain Gang. Today, I'm really excited to bring on a very esteemed guest, our very own Gracy Chen. Gracy Chen, of course, is the managing director of Bitget and oversees the growth and expansion of global markets, strategy, execution, business, and corporate developments of Bitget. She began her journey in crypto since 2014 and was even an investor in the early days of Bitkeep, Asia's leading decentralized wallet, which of course now is part of Bitget. Before joining the industry, she held executive roles at a tech company and was formerly an anchor and producer at Phoenix TV's technology and finance channel. Gracie was named a global shaper by the World Economic Forum in 2015 and is now pursuing an MBA degree at MIT. And the reason why we're bringing Gracie on today, of course, I want to learn more about her, but really, we launched a brand new campaign called Blockchain for Youth. So I'm really excited to hear more in detail about that. We just had the soft launch on May 4th, and the project will include campus lectures, hackathons, scholarship, as well as Bitget Academy courses, which will come out on May 22nd. Without further ado, let's bring on Gracie.
Hi, everyone.
All right, Gracie, it is good to see you. I'm really happy we're actually finally meeting on camera.
We even haven't had a chance to meet each other offline. I believe there will be other opportunities.
No, absolutely. I'm sure of it. All right. So to start, maybe you could tell us more about yourself and maybe share with us some more details as to what you do at Bitget.
Sure. So I think CH had a very good introduction to me already. Thanks for all the compliments and titles. But I guess how I view myself is a tech entrepreneur for past 8 years. By the way, other than being an entrepreneur, I'm also a mother. I have a 4-year-old son. That's something I'm very proud of too. But in terms of crypto and myself in the role of Bitget, so as he has introduced, I'm a managing director. Mainly, it's about two things: marketing and ecosystem growth. So in terms of marketing, I guess lots of people may or may not know, Bitget is actually a very leading crypto exchange. And before I joined, I noticed that lots of people don't know us. CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap have already like ranked us in top 5 globally for derivative trading by volume, sometimes top 5 in among all the trading volume as well. So before I joined, I noticed that there are not much noise that we are making. So we are a team who do lots of things, but not to say a lot. So we do much more than what we say. The first thing I want to achieve here is to have the market and the ecosystem know us better, to have our brand and impact at least matching our real power. So that's first of my job in terms of marketing. And then secondly, in 2023, we think the exchanges kind of competition should be beyond just trading volume or DAU. It should be about growth and about ecosystem expansion. So my second role in the company is to assist the firm with growth and expansion of global markets, ecosystem development and investment. So for example, I'm also leading my team to throw a Bitget summit maybe in the September. We haven't decided the details, but we will definitely let everyone know. And that's building a bridge to gather all our ecosystem partners together to share their point of view. Also look into some of the Web3 projects that we work closely and or investment into. Yeah, so that's what I do at Bitget.
Wow, that's amazing. That's my first time hearing about that too. So you heard it here first, folks. Amazing to hear. Of course, I know that Coin Bureau, which is probably the largest crypto YouTuber in the world, he even listed Bitget as his top 5 as well. I think there's a few factors that went into really convincing him that we really are, top of the game. Of course, we're very transparent. We have the Merkle tree, and of course, we have the various licenses that allow us to operate in many parts of the world. So really excited.
By the way, I'm going to join his conference in June, where there will be a big event happening in London.
That's amazing. That will be amazing for you to meet him and hang out with him and chat about crypto. I actually looked into what they will be talking about, and it's all the biggest questions surrounding crypto. So really excited to hearing from you what you learned, what you went through, and just kind of what's happening. Amazing.
I'm happy to share later.
Yes, absolutely. So what's been your journey like getting into crypto? What initially attracted you to get into Web3? And, what's been your education process like, like learning about the crazy world of crypto, because it's so fast paced and so dramatic, right?
So in terms of my journey getting into the space, you have mentioned that I was a TV anchor, and that was around the time when some of my friends who are pretty famous today, like He Yi, he's the co-founder of Binance, and then Tim Draper. I know CH, you have met him when you were in Paris, right? But actually, I met him much earlier in 2016 or 15 when I studied at his Draper University based in Silicon Valley. So these are the kind of people who introduced me to the space when I started to investing. So about 2014, 15, I started to invest only in some bigger cryptocurrencies, including BTC, ETH, and XRP. Sadly, not huge amount. I do think people should build portfolio with smaller percentage investment in crypto according to their risk tolerance level and their own experience. But I'm glad I did that in 2014, 15 through these friends. And then it's only since 2017 that I started to invest more in the primary market, secondary market of crypto space. For example, you mentioned Bitget, that's a primary market investment. And of course, secondary market investment, I did lots of trading and investment in different currencies. Some are successful, some are failures, but that's how you need to learn, right? So in this journey, especially because of my investment in Bitget, I started to observe Bitget and Bitget's growth from a closer point of view, from an investor's point of view. When I witnessed the brand's development and the growth throughout the years, and that's why I decided to join Bitget, an organization full of driven and intelligent individuals. Well, initially, the reasons attracting me to Web3, of course, these two friends or some other friends in the space are one of the reasons. And secondly, I myself have gone through some hard time in terms of cross-border remittance. So I had my wedding in Maldives in 2016 when I need to pay the hotel that hosted my wedding. I think it's like 200,000 USD, some amount around that. But basically, it's a big enough amount. And then realized that basically one of the projects I invested earlier, XRP, one of their key role is to help facilitate the cross-banking remittance. And I find it to be a very important pinpoint that should be solved. And notice that crypto can be one of the methods to solve that. And that attract me to the space as well. And then like the idea of store of value, of decentralization, these are so amazing. And along the way, I saw lots of projects coming up, which again inspired me a lot into studying more about the technology behind it.
Wow. First of all, I'm sure that wedding must have been spectacular in the Maldives, being $200,000. Wow, that's a wedding I would love to have attended. But yes, you're absolutely right. That's a huge pain point that crypto solves. And for me, I had a similar experience, not a $200,000 wedding, but back when I was in college, I was in California and my family was overseas, and getting money across, this is like 20
tuition and living expenses, right?
Yeah. And so, exactly. And so that's 2008 to 2012 when I was in California. So that crypto, I wasn't aware of crypto at that point. And so unfortunately couldn't take advantage, and it would have been really nice to have known crypto in 2012, right? But yeah,
at that time, the facility and infrastructure is not there either. Like the stable coin was barely exist.
Exactly. So actually would have been probably as much of a headache to get into crypto and send crypto at that point. But now it's a very robust ecosystem. And I know Bitget, of course, is pursuing big things. So really excited to hear more about that as well. Moving forward, I wanted to discuss, of course, the Blockchain for Youth campaign that we have. Could you maybe give us an overview of that campaign and what is your role within this educational campaign?
Okay, sure. So Bitget's Blockchain for Youth campaign is designed for a mission behind it that we want to inspire and empower young minds to explore the endless possibilities of Web3 and crypto tools and to create and engage in a decentralized space. So with this project, we want to build a brighter future that is more open, transparent, and secure for all. Because we really believe in the power of Web3 adoption, and we want to share all this valuable information that we learned throughout the years of entrepreneur, like starting this exchange, running this exchange, and observing all sorts of behaviors and building up this ecosystem. So these are all valuable assets we learned throughout the year, and we want to contribute to create a blockchain-powered world by educating the youth. Well, my role behind it, I would say, just like everyone in Bitget, we want to share. I probably consider myself like an evangelist in terms of I'll probably be speaking in some of the events in various cities. If I'm traveling there, I would love to do that. I'm based in here at MIT, so MIT Harvard. These are two great universities that would also be a base for us to create this initiative. So I hope my role is like a connector and an evangelist in terms of this. But basically, it's all about educating the youth, and we want to share the knowledge.
Amazing to hear. Absolutely. The next generation is so important to nurture the Web3 space. So I'm really happy to learn that Bitget is really devoting time, energy, money, capital into the next generation. So it'd be great to see what comes out of that. So to achieve the goal of inspiring the Web3 adoption, of course, Bitget is investing $10 million in the campaign over the next 5 years. So what is Bitget's core mission, and how does blockchain for youth align with it?
That's a good question. We don't really have a concrete number in terms of how many audience we want to reach, how much impact, or how to quantify that impact. Not yet. We're also like at the designing stage in terms of that. We know we want to put in some money into this educational program where CH mentioned we have like hackathon, we have various lectures, tours around the different universities around the world, and then maybe do some scholarship and partnership with the schools as well. So all these things are important in our view in terms of to, I guess, quantify or the kind of change that we want to make. Vision and mission, we talked about that a little bit, but basically it's, again, to inspire everyone to embrace the power of crypto. And we want to promote this blockchain-based future that can pave the way for innovative tools and products to help people adopt cryptocurrency easily. Because we believe the future of crypto should lie in the hands of younger generations who will become the proactive leader of tomorrow. So I guess that's the main reason we want to dedicate our time, our resource to do this project.
That's a great point you make. I mean, for me personally, I'm a millennial, right? And so a lot of my friends are all into crypto, and especially the younger generation. But when I talk to my folks, it's a foreign concept to them. So yes, I think investing in our demographic is definitely the way to go. I wanted to get in some numbers because I know Bitget actually conducted a very thorough research into the age bracket demographic and that correlation between age groups and crypto. So, from the research, it found that millennials are the most loyal to cryptocurrencies. And, Gen Z is coming in second. Could you maybe share some more insights on that research?
Sure. So by the way, I'm also a millennial. So I guess we as millennials, we noticed that, okay, millennial and then Gen Z, these are the so-called younger people who loves crypto. And I believe CH, you and I, we have like first-hand experience in terms of how we grow up in the internet era. But right now they are growing up not just in internet era, but in the era of AI, blockchain, all these new technology that doesn't exist when we were young, and maybe VR metaverse is another thing. So we want to understand the trend in a more quantitative way. That's why we conducted this research. Just to give everyone some background information, we ran this research between July 2022 to January 23. So that's about half a year, and we involved over 459,000 respondents, of whom more than 255,000 provided responses. So as part of the study, all this like information on the fertility and the index of cryptocurrency adoption in selected countries was correlated with other factors, such as propensity of residents of selected countries to use blockchain technology and the data on their demographic graphics of the local cryptocurrency owners. So analysis concluded that millennials are the dominant group of crypto enthusiasts, and that's about 46% of all our respondents. And then we also noticed there will be representation of different groups by government regulations that can determine the likelihood of crypto favorable social changes. So these are some information we found, and we want to initiate this blockchain for youth, which is a powerful role model, promoter, or platform for the bigger adopters in crypto. And we want to collaborate with other leading crypto firms or blockchain firms to incubate innovative projects by young entrepreneurs. We also have our investment arm, Foresight Venture. We want to support some of these young entrepreneurs, and we will hold some like U30, like under the age of 30 kind of hackathons to identify the most promising ones. And again, invest and put in more resources to them.
Yes, I think that's definitely the right strategy. Let's maybe talk more about the four pillars within the Blockchain for Youth campaign, one of them being the Academy course. Could you maybe tell us what the course covers and how is it designed to be more accessible to the younger generation?
Sure. So we have Bitget Academy, and that's been running since like for more than a couple of years already. At least I think I'm aware it's been at least 2 years. So Bitget Academy course is the gateway to a more comprehensive understanding of the groundbreaking technology. While previously Bitget Academy is mainly designed to provide lots of articles and objective information on some of the hot topics, for example, meme, Lido, all these like interesting or staking, and some other hot topics around each time. So well, for this project, we kind of make it bigger in terms of the scope in Bitget Academy. So we have like 3 engaging modules where participants can gain a solid foundation in everything from the basics of blockchain to the existing and exciting future applications. And then it's not just about learning, it's also about earning a certificate after each successful completed module. And then another one after completing the whole course. And then we have our user-friendly format that we want to ensure that the participants will find the course both enjoyable and informative. So these are all very, very important in our point of view.
It's amazing to see Bitget packaging all of this up. I know that also there's going to be campus lectures. You know, it's the other initiative under the project. Can you maybe tell us more about these lectures and what young people can expect to learn from them?
Yes, sure. So campus lectures comprised of some interesting talks about crypto and about blockchain technology and how it's shaping the future of decentralization. We have some amazing speakers lined up. I guess we're still finalizing on the details in terms of who is speaking at where, but they are all very knowledgeable. They have lots of insights, and all our participants, they will have a chance to ask questions and participate in the discussion as well. I think it's a great way to learn more about the world of crypto, about blockchain, and be inspired of the exciting possibilities it offers. So these are some of the topics we wanna kind of look into.
That's awesome. I know that from our discussion, because we had a Twitter space last week talking about this, and I think you shared some insights on the things that you're trying to do in Boston. Could you maybe share with us like some of those things? I know you mentioned it last week, but maybe you can share with our audience here on the video chat.
Well, Boston has always been a innovative hub in crypto, especially given, so for example, Blur, it's a NFT marketplace that is like a rising star recently. They took a big portion of the market share from OpenSea, which was number one in the case, and right now Blur is becoming the dominant market player, and the founder is from MIT. And then like Boston, like in my school, MIT has this MIT Bitcoin Expo. It just happened a few weeks ago, actually. And then like Stanford, Harvard, MIT, I think these are top schools which have very strong innovative spirit. So the things I want to do here, again, I have been doing that for a while already in terms of connecting technological person with business sense of people, and then connecting whoever interested in the space but haven't gone into it with crypto experts in the space. And I guess attending those events that we talked about, like Bitcoin, MIT Bitcoin Expo, like Harvard Blockchain Conference. These are great ways to connect with the people located in Boston. Yeah, these are something that I would love to do. And then we will organize hackathon. We will provide this platform for people to explore various topics. So speaking about hackathon, Bitget Hackathon Challenge is another initiative under Blockchain for Youth project.
That's awesome that you brought that up, because I was just going to ask you about the hackathon. Could you maybe share some more details about the hackathon, that initiative that we have?
Sure. So people have probably attended hackathon. It's really designed in a way that's like maybe 48 hours over the weekend. You can choose not to sleep at all. I did that before when I was younger in university, where there are challenges in terms of a topic provided. Then you each form a team and you try to solve some real world problems and identify some of the hidden vulnerabilities in the current system using blockchain technology. So this is the basic idea. Well, of course, hackathon doesn't only exist in crypto. It also exists in technological innovative space in Web2 startup on various topics that people can come up with. So this challenge that we are designing is aiming at exploring a range of exciting topics, such as creating a decentralized social media platform, building a blockchain-based game that uses maybe Bitget's BGB as the in-game currency, then reducing identity theft, maybe that's like DID, layer 1, layer 0, all these sorts of things that we are happy to discuss. So the hackathon will also focus on developing a secure, tamper-proof, and transparent voting system that developing nations can quickly and cheaply deploy. So these are all various topics that we want to explore. And if you're passionate about making a difference in the world and you have innovative ideas that can change the world, so join us in this challenge and we can make a difference together. And by the way, again, I want to emphasize that there are real value provided, not just play a game and do a hackathon. You can very easily be invested, not just by us, but by all the VC partners that we work with. We also have like both from Asia and from United States, kind of very good or various worlds, like maybe some of the local communities and VCs and incubators coming to look into these projects, and hopefully we can invest and make some of the ideas coming true.
Wow, that's very promising. It reminds me of the scene from The Social Network, where Mark Zuckerberg had all these hackers gather around, and they're all competing at Harvard to see who gets the job to become a dev at Facebook. It's like we're hosting the Web3 version with you being at MIT and us doing a hackathon with Bitget. So It's awesome.
Yeah, we would love to do that. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So moving forward, I know that we have also the scholarship program, which is the last initiative under the project. Can you maybe tell us more about the scholarship and what kind of proposals young people can submit? And of course, who is eligible to apply?
The idea of this scholarship is to help young students and entrepreneurs who are interested in blockchain space. And we want to provide financial support for those applicants in the form of a one-off grant that can be used for education and research projects related to blockchain. So if you are between the age of 18 to 35, you are eligible to apply for this scholarship. And all you need to do is to submit a proposal outlining your project and how it will contribute to the development of the blockchain system or ecosystem. The goal of this program is to encourage our innovative and more innovation and more growth in the blockchain industry by empowering the young people with the resources that they need to succeed. So if you're passionate about blockchain and you have a good idea for a project, I highly recommend you check out Bitget Blockchain for Youth Scholarship Program. And it's a fantastic opportunity for you to take your knowledge and skills to the next level.
Wow, that's amazing. If you're out there, if you're between the ages of 18 to 35, be sure you're paying attention and seeing if you can go and apply and get into the space with us. We're happy to support new initiatives, and we're always happy to bring on the youngsters who are going to take over the world. So definitely pay attention to that. So Gracie, how do you view the role of millennials and Gen Z in promoting blockchain adoption?
Mm-hmm. We probably have mentioned this a bit in terms of all the millennials. They are most loyal to cryptocurrency and they find it very intrinsically relatable because they grow up in the world of like AI, blockchain. They are familiar with what's the idea of Bitcoin. They are happy about the idea of decentralization, unlike their parents who might find centralized world more understandable. So all these things are providing a foundation for millennials to play an important role in the space. And this given age group is also starting to build their own investment portfolio. And many of them see cryptocurrency as an attractive opportunity due to the high potential growth, I guess, demonstrated during like 2018, 17. And right now it's probably a bear market, but we also think that next year it's going to be a bull market. So this is like the best time to invest. And then like Gen Z representatives were also discovered to be fans of modern technologies, right? Many of us play with I'm not a Gen Z, so many of you who are maybe watching the video today are playing with like AI, like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Leonardo AI, DALL-E, ChatGPT. All these like AI technology is also important. And then many of them grow up wearing VR headset. They know what's VR and they know how to do cryptocurrency remittance, like what we talked about earlier in some other cases. Many of them have a wallet. They love to play with NFT. So all these are the reasons that we see millennials and Gen Z they are just keen on turning to blockchain and digital assets. And I guess another thing about them is they have no negative experience with financial crisis, if they are born after 2008. But we have, and we kind of know that crypto is, by saying crypto is the money of internet, or it has the store of value kind of idea behind. It's actually very, very important, especially like Bitcoin was actually born right after the financial crisis. So it's quite natural for the millennials and Gen Z to be a main driving force. And that's indeed why we want to see more generations, especially younger generations, to start to incorporate blockchain in their daily lives and be included in all these active discussions of trading and financial planning with crypto, and financial privacy, banking the unbanked. All these are very important topics to be addressed in a social perspective as well.
You're absolutely correct. I think it's amazing the tools that we have access to now, and especially the younger generation growing up with these access. I mean, you're hearing about all these kids who are using ChatGPT on their essays, trying to cheat the system, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? And I just can't even fathom, I can't even comprehend what the world is going to look like in 10 years just by how fast these technologies are compounding. So it's really amazing that Bitget sees the importance of that and is now investing with the younger generation to see how we can nurture that. And I always say, because Bitcoin is the narrative is digital gold, right? And a lot of my friends, they always ask me about Bitcoin or crypto, and I always just tell them, I say, is the younger generation going to choose gold or Bitcoin? Pretty sure you know the answer to that, right? So just on a very basic level, even if Bitcoin gets to the gold's market cap, which is about 12 trillion, I mean, we're looking at $500,000 per Bitcoin, and that's very likely, and actually most likely even more. So prepare for that, really learn everything you can about Bitcoin. And it's just amazing that Bitget is providing the educational component to nurture the younger generation. Amazing to hear. Gracie, so I got one more question for you. How important is the younger generation in driving development towards a crypto favorable future, in your opinion?
Well, we definitely think it is very important. So for us, other than this educational program, we also have some other CSR initiatives. Starting from March, we have like our Juventus Women sponsorship to kickstart our women theme campaign. I myself is a big fan in this topic, given that I have gone through lots of bias, especially in technological leadership kind of role, when people will just think women are not good at tech or STEM subjects. Or I had an investor asking me, saying that we're interested in your project, but we don't invest in women who are married but not having a kid. That's what's my status at that time. But basically, all these like women topic or women empowerment topic is very important to me in my heart, and also to Bitget. So we want to empower women in tech and blockchain to embrace their talent and drive innovation. And there are more campaigns coming up for the rest of the year, but we are still deciding, the details. But some of the ideas, such as like female entrepreneurs incubation programs, some like women in blockchain summit and awards, maybe female-friendly recruitment fairs, etc. So these are some of the female-driven kind of topic we're talking about here. And I guess we've spent a lot of time talking about education and the youth initiative already. If they have any, our audience and whoever is listening to this podcast or this video, let us know if you have any other question. And all the information will be listed in details on our Blockchain for Youth project website. I myself will be actively tweeting about this on my Twitter. Let us know if there's anything you want to find out. And if you have some good ideas around the same mission and goal that we are doing here, let us know too.
Yes, please reach out. We're always open for new ideas, and we're always happy to be talking to folks about this crazy world that we call cryptocurrency and Web3. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to go check out Gracie's Twitter. She's always tweeting out daily, really insightful tweets. And I know I'm always following, and it's just awesome to see that you're committed to posting all the time, even though you're such a high level executive and you're going to school at MIT. I mean, you are just an amazing person who really has it down. So congrats to all of your success. And of course, I want to say, Bitget is actually very proud that we have women executives running the show. Of course, Gracie is our, managing director, but also our CEO is also a lady who really runs the show. So
our CPO too.
Indeed, yes. So very, very proud of that. Gracie, it has been an absolute pleasure. Do you have any last remarks you'd like to share with our audience?
I have one quick suggestion that we didn't really touch on in terms of being educated in the space. Of course, get yourself right there absorbing all those great information. That's important. But I would suggest our youth or our audience, when you attend those lectures, have a framework in your mind, like have a big picture in terms of what should each sector be building at, and what's the role of stablecoin, what's the history of Bitcoin, what are the important historical events happened in the space. I think these are all different frameworks or different sorts of ways to learn it. But yeah, keep in mind that you should build up a tree in blockchain and do enough education and research in the space. And I hope I'll see you, if you can build a project, we would be happy to invest in if it's a good one. If it's growing tremendously, we want to list all those like great tokens on our platform too. And even if not, just like build up a small portfolio in cryptocurrency. I think these are all great ending results that you might achieve by attending our initiative of blockchain for youth. And we really hope that we can accompany everyone to get you more valuable information and accompany your growth in the blockchain space.
Amazing. Gracie, thank you so much for all of your insightful comments. I've learned a lot. I hope our audience has too. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to our channel. We're always giving you new, amazing content all the time. With that being said, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.